Hello, my good friends, and welcome back to more Adventures in the Azores. Today we went to a town called, I know what you probably think it's called, Furnas? Incorrect. It is Furnas, I think. Let me listen to that one more time. Furnas. Okay. Back to our map. So on this particular day, we took the northern route. So we started in Mosteros. Hold on, I like red. Started in Mosteros and went up this way, took the northern route. So one thing my bro did was suction cup his GoPro to the side of the huge Econoline van that we rented. Haven't looked at those videos yet. I'm sure they're awesome. So while he was driving, he got some really good footage of the countryside, the ocean, the towns, the cities, everything. I'm looking forward to all that. I'll probably link it when I get a chance. But as you can see, this was a long drive all the way over here, over here, over here. I'm totally guesstimating the trip we took. I imagine it followed something like this. All the way to probably here, maybe, is where we broke off. Down to here, and finally arrived in Furnas. Furnas. Alright, I'm going to stop it because that's insulting to all native Portuguese speakers with how terrible that is. But you can see, long drive, I think it was like an hour and 40 minutes or something. Yeah, I know you think island, everything's close together. Not really. That coupled with windy mountain roads, not, 16-lane express highways, and it can take a little while to get around the island. I remember being surprised by that in Hawaii as well. But all right, enough of the map. Let's take a look at the town. All right, and here we are in Furnas. And look at that camera lined up perfectly with that road. I did not plan that nor notice that at the time. Pretty cool. But here we are, we parked and apparently took an extremely roundabout way to get to where we were trying to go. I don't know, but we saw a little more of the town, so can't really argue with that. Pretty cool vantage point up here. So the whole thing about this town is, well, how do I say it? It's full of geothermal springs and geothermal vents, I guess. And I imagine if you live here, you probably don't pay for heat. I don't know. I don't know if the rest of the island has something like this, but really incredible. They just have like water running down their streets, and again, it's just like, wow, all this fresh water is just kind of being wasted. I don't know if it's usable, drinkable. The entire town smelled like sulfur, so that's one con. But here we go. Yeah, you're just walking down the street and boom, it's like a rainstorm happened, but it didn't. And that is hot water. You can see it steaming there. It's not like, this one isn't boiling hot, but you're not going to want to hold your hand in there. It was pretty toasty. Yeah, I would not be doing that with boiling water. You're going to see some boiling water coming up. And apparently, yeah, it's just draining. Where's this draining to? The ocean? I don't know if they're capturing this. I think that says hot water. It's not all hot either, so some of these springs are like even coolish, room temperature maybe. Yeah, look at that cinematography. That's piano sauce coming at you through the boiling springs. Hot springs. And apparently that sign says, don't wash your dishes or your clothes here. And just another... Lots of water. I imagine this is normal temperature.
This is probably pretty slick, so unless you want to go swimming, this is probably as far as you want to go.
Yeah, watch out. Don't want to go. Nobody wants to go swimming. Too shallow. Too shallow to go swimming in there anyway. But you can see the steam. See the steam in the off in the distance? That's bubbling up from the hot springs. And we got more of that algae growth. It's not algae, but that Christmas tree-looking water plants in there. That was growing all throughout the lakes and Cidades. But yeah, we got the hydrangeas growing on the riverbanks. Pretty spot. Pretty spot. Lots of water. Lots of water. Trying to think what else happened here. I mean, yeah, here we go.
Smell the sulfur. Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yeah, the whole town smelled like sulfur. Which I guess maybe you get used to. I think summer here. Yeah, we should have walked down to that. Why didn't we walk down to that? That one's not roped off. On the other hand, these are roped off. So now you're looking at some legit boiling water. I guess this just happens all the time. High temperatures indeed. Yeah, it was weird. You can see the stone circles where they got a lot of these roped off, but not all of them are boiling. So I wonder what that's about. I don't know if they can like turn a valve and pick which one is boiling, or if some of them are dormant where they used to boil and now they don't, or if they get a lot of rain and there's an overflow of water, they bubble up. I don't know. Kind of weird, but I didn't get a chance to ask anybody. Maybe I should have, but you can see that. That is some actual boiling water, all from geothermal activity. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Actually, quite hot. And again, this was another, so here's a dormant one, I guess. Caldera seca, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that terribly. Let me slap a Google Translate on that real quick, if I can. Caldera seca. Dry boiler is what that means. Caldera seca. I was close. Okay. Dry boil. Alright, so dry, maybe that means that one is like dry and it just pumps up hot air. I don't know. Okay, stuck on a picture. So what does this say? Anything? Where's the English? Oh, down on the bottom. Geosite, case of highest temperatures. There's not a whole lot there. Let's just keep moving. Temperaturas elevadas. Okay, I'm not going to type that one into Google Translate. Alright. There's the hot tub. See, if you stick on the very left end of that thing... I'm kidding, but it almost looks like maybe somebody could tolerate that for a minute. Yeah, I think they have some springs here that you can actually swim in. Actually, no, I take it back. I think that was not this town. I think that was another town. My folks, they all went to one of those towns while I was diving on my second dive trip. And apparently you gotta like reserve it ahead of time, which they didn't do, didn't know you had to do that. So, as far as I know, nobody in my party went swimming in the hot springs, but that's alright. You know, I've been in a hot tub before, not a natural hot tub. There's certainly a cool element to that, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. Just kind of taking the tour here. I can't quite read that. Caldera. Alright, so that's got to be the word for spring. Pero something. I'd have to pause it and look at it and translate it, but hey, lights are on, the show's on, show's going. Ain't got time for that. Got some tree roots hanging down. This one was, yeah, you could not only smell the sulfur, but see the sulfur boiling up in this one. At least that's got to be what that is. I know sulfur is yellow. Can't quite see it through the steam, but I got pretty sure the next video is from the side. You got a pretty good look at it there, yeah. That's got to be sulfur in the water, right? Maybe it's just dirt. I don't know. Wait, this is the same vantage point. I had one. Oh, is this, shoot, you know what? I think I did some slow motion in one of these. Alright. Not that one, hasn't happened yet. Yeah, I know when a slow motion video is playing because I can look at the terminal where this is running.
It's gotta be.
And the drop frames just shoot up like crazy. So far I don't see that, so... Yeah, this whole plain here. It's kind of desolate, actually. You got bubbling up there. Nothing growing in there, it doesn't look like, except for some moss or algae. Wonder if the sulfur is just poisoning it all. A little bubbling spring there. Yeah, I am very curious if this town completely harnesses this energy to do things. You're going to see later on when we went to the lake, there is a restaurant there that actually cooks all their meals with the geothermal heat. Pretty cool. We actually got a little behind the scenes tour of one of those. We'll call them boilers, but I'll talk more about that when we get there. So far, just checking the water out. It's really cool, really cool. Boy, the wind really picked up into the microphone there. And they got, well, that one, oh, we can walk down there. Some of these are not hot. And that one is, you can see the steam coming off of it, right? Oh. Yeah, that's hot. That's a hot one. Yep, even the sign says. Alright, this one's 16.5 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is, but it's not hot, so there you go. Yeah, I don't know how they necessarily harness and trap these things. Just water everywhere. This is an aqua town. There's some steam coming off of that. This must be a hot spring also, or maybe the dribble in from the side there is the hot part. This looks really cool. That whole shallow pool is bubbling. And you gotta wonder if I see this and it's like, man, is the volcano right under the surface? Is it about to blow again? I think certainly not, but I don't know. I like this. I see lots of video. Oh yeah, look at that pipe. It does look kind of sludgy. I don't know. Is that iron? Is that red iron? Maybe it's sulfur and iron. Not too sure. Yeah, we just followed this stream for a little bit. I think I got some exclusive underwater footage. If you just wait. That's cool with the moss growing all over that tree. That leaning tree. Okay, it looks like those 4 trees were planted. Nope, I've been watching the frame, the drop frames so far. Haven't seen anything worthy of oh, there's some ginger. I guess the ginger's not scared of the hot water. Himalayan ginger. Oh, I was going to look up the name of that plant, and I totally forgot it to do that. That's pretty cool. I told you, exclusive underwater footage of the maybe 2-inch deep shallow stream. And there's some yellow sauce through the water. And I'm coming at you. Wipe that lens off. Good as new. Let's keep going. There's the ginger. Yeah, I didn't learn you could eat the flowers until the last day. That's what I learned on the canyoning trip. That guy cut off one of those flower heads and was like, hey, who wants to taste some of this? And I'm like, what? Oh man, I so would have climbed down those ladder steps for $20. Or 20 euros. That's the country we're in. Nah, I looked like super tight quarters down there. And I don't know the purpose of that. I'm surprised they had that uncovered, to be honest with you. But, surrounding area, absolutely gorgeous. Like all the towns. Well, not all the towns, but this one is surrounded by mountains because it's, you know, in the valley. That's where you build the towns. You build them in the valleys, not on top of the mountains. And all the roads are around the rim, just like Hawaii. Man, it's just really cool. Really cool. Just smoking all day long. I guess if you live here, you probably just get used to the sulfur smell. I don't know. It's not super pleasant, but I don't remember it being, you know, totally unappealing to the point where it was like, we gotta get out of here. But all right. Oh, this is the last one. Not sure what that says. You can run that through the Google Translate if you'd like. That's going to do it for Furnas. Oh, shoot, how do you say it? I gotta try. Furnas. Furnas. More of an ooh. Furnas. The town, well, walking around the town, it's going to do it for the hot springs. We went to the lake in this town. Stick around, check it out.